What is going on? Let me see if I can lower this a little. Hold on. Whoa. There we go. What's going on? How in the world are you doing? How you doing? So, my goodness. For me, 2022 is off to a shebang. It is popping off. Darlene Eaton, how are you? Good to see you. Good. Oh, look at this. My brother. Shaka, you want to jump on here with me, dude? I know you do. If you say yes, man, I'm sending you the link. If you say yes, I am sending you the link, my brother. Mark Rodriguez, what's happening, dude? What is going on? Theodora, how are you? How are you? How? Uh-oh. 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 Hold on. Hold on. Y'all are about to get a special treat up in here. You're about to get a special treat. Scott Ricard is in the house. Ron Jones. Look, dude. Look. Got Ron. Ron sent me his books. I got them. They're in the queue, brother. They're in the queue. They are in the queue. So, Randy, 2022 is smoking. That's awesome. Hey, Shaka. Come on, Shaka Dyson. Theodora says, come on with it. Come on, man. Things are going. Hey, listen, for any of you, by the way, I'm just going to throw it out there, who have thought about joining the Grow Live Academy and you haven't yet, I am going to make you an offer tonight that will take everything. Like, there will be no reason for you not to. If the $9.97's been too much for you, I understand. I now have a special link I can send you. I've sent it to one person and she signed up tonight. Kelly Williams. Welcome to the Grow Live Academy, Kelly. And her husband, Paul. And it's $147.77 a month. Your out of pocket is only $224, and then $77 a month. And that means you also get to attend the weekly meetings, the weekly coaching calls. Everything is included. All of the training, $224. Come on, man. Come on with it. I'm going to bring my buddy, the one, the only. We really need a drum roll right now. We really need a drum roll. But here we go. Let's bring him in. The one and only Mr. Shaka Dyson is in the house.
Man.
Oh, there he is. There he is. I said, no, he's not. Dude, what's oh, there you are.
What's up, man? You are too much, brother.
Dude.
What is with you, man?
My brother, man. Hey, dude, I'm I'm just out here. I'm out here. Look, everybody's saying drum roll, drum roll, drum roll.
Let's go.
Lucky. Dude, you're something's up with your internet, man. What's going on with it?
Something's up with mine?
Yeah, it's blurry, dude.
Shit, it looks perfect on my end.
I know. Look at this, dude. Mark Rodriguez.
Appreciate you, big dog. Appreciate you, Mark. Yeah, man. Appreciate you, big dog.
Dude, you were talking all car business stuff, and I was like, I don't even know what he's talking about, Gap, but I was like, I'm about to go sell a car. I was sitting there going, I want to go sell a car right now, man. I want to go sell a car. Brian Hess, what's up, bro? There's Brian Hess. Robert Starks is in the house. What's going on, Robert? So, dude, man, well, you and I, man, over the last Well, 2 years. I was gonna say over the last few days, we've spent a lot of time together.
Sure.
A lot of time.
Sure.
Working on
man, to be honest with you, that's what creative people do.
That's right.
They say that they say average and mediocre people complain and just do status quo, and they say creative people share and build on ideas, and that's the truth, right?
That's the truth.
So I think that we connect so often because we share a lot of the same type of ideas, and man, we're not afraid to build, and man, we're not afraid to spend the midnight hour building and building and building on creative ideas, man. And so I think that the average and mediocre, man, all they can see is the glass half empty. All they can see is what the status quo or what someone else will give them versus going out there and building and designing their life, man. And what's going on, Scott? And that's the ticket, man. And so I think that's why people like yourself, people like myself, stay on so late. I mean, it wasn't just on us on late last night, man. We were on what developers and everything else, man.
I know.
Trying to create, man. So it's par for the course.
It is.
When you talk about successful people, man.
Dude, I am telling you, hey, if anybody else, I maybe it's on my end, but you're blurry, man. Like you're blurry and your audio is real choppy. And you may need to refresh the browser and reconnect and come back in.
Seriously. Wow, you look perfect on my end.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Hey, ask the audience. Ask the audience if I'm blurry to them.
Hey,
too.
drop a 1 if Shaka looks a little blurry. Yeah, Theodora says Shaka should restart.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me restart then. How do I do
it? Reboot real quick.
Reboot my computer or just
no, just refresh the browser. My bad. Brian says Shaka is jacked up. Shaka is fired up all the time. All right. So Debbie says he is blurry. Okay. Yep. He's blurry. All right. Let's see if that helped. Let's see. In the thumbnail, you look perfect. Okay. All right. Yeah.
It's looking better.
Yeah. Yeah. Way better.
Good, man. I am sorry for looking blurry, man. I'm glad I didn't start dropping jewels, man.
See, Debbie says better. So, dude, I had Rami El-Batrawi. You know Rami.
Absolutely.
Had Rami on Amazon Live tonight, man, talking about his book and it was funny. I told him at the end, dude, he's a billionaire. He owns the largest wide body jet in the world, right? And I said, well, dude, if there's anything I can do to help you at all, let me know. I said, except for I come to California, I'm not putting a mask on to fly on a plane that long. I said, but I'll drive, so I'll see you in 3 days. And he says, no, why would you? No, you don't have to wear a mask on my plane.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, if I need you out here, man, I'll just send my plane to get you. I can't wait to get to those levels. That's where I'm.
It's great to have people in high places, man. It's great to know people, man. And especially people like that, man, where they're willing to share because you get to see how the other half lives, man. And you get to see where your dreams and aspirations and hard work could eventually take you. And for people, if you can hold that book up again, I mean, I don't know where my book is sitting, but I've already read it. But for people who haven't, man, I mean, it's a life lesson in itself because the guy is self-made. Like nobody handed him any of this. And not only is he self-made, but he's self-made several times. Right. So it's the Think and Grow Rich philosophy, right? So basically the guy designed his life. He created opportunities and he made things happen. right? So, for instance, let's not even talk about what he ended up doing with the Tesla type cars for the hotels and the Uber type cars. But in the beginning, when he said, "Man, I want to get next to the world's richest person." And so he just made it happen by showing up at the guy's front door, showing up at his hotel room, showing up, right? And just being there and saying, "Hey, I want to partner up with you." The fact that he was able to do the same thing and get next to, is it Lee Iacocca?
It was no, I asked him on the, well, at the time, Adnan Khashoggi was the richest man in the world.
Yeah, I'm talking about after that. After that, he got next to Lee Iacocca.
At one point there was another Carl Icahn.
Carl Icahn, that's right.
Yeah.
And then before that, he saw opportunity in creating key icons and malls, bought 40 of them, became a millionaire by the time he was 21, went broke right after that to where he was on the street. The guy was suicidal, in the hospital. So he's faced it's inspiration to me when I read a book like that, because he's faced every adversity that humans face. Like, he lives in the same world we live in. The only difference between us, or the only difference between him and average, is the thought process. He thinks different. Therefore, he takes different actions and gets different outcomes. That's it. But he faces the same type of adversity, the same hurdles and walls and challenges, and the same issues with people that we all face. It's just his ability to navigate those shark-infested waters, man, and get to the other side. So I love the book. I love him, and I love that book, man.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, dude. It's a game changer. And it's because of what you just said. It's because we all go through adversity, right? We all face adversity. You have, dude, you're like a brother to me. So I know, literally, I know your whole story, or at least most of it.
Sure.
You've been through it, and look at you, man. Look at you, and what, just over, and nobody knows about it yet. And I won't spill the beans, but what you've been creating just over the last week or 2 weeks, and it's unbelievable. So you don't focus your energy on victimhood or what happened to me, or this or that. You focus your energy and efforts on creation and expansion, and that's what's important, man. That's why I title this, "How's your 2022 gone so far?" Right?
Yeah. And
people brought their old selves into 2022,
and there's
a lot of people.
That's a shame too, man. I'm gonna tell you, if 2020 and 2021 haven't taught you anything else, it should have taught you that time is of the essence, man. That we are all mortal, like, for real. And it's a shame if people are bringing or dragging their old luggage into the new year, right? Bringing their old selves into the new year. But I tell you what I've grown to is this, that has helped me a lot, is making this target of success, making it bigger than me. Like, in reality, focusing on who loses if I don't win. If I don't put in the work, if I don't stay up late night and create, if I don't build, if I don't follow through on my aspirations, if I don't make that phone call, meet this person, put in the grind and the work, who will lose above and beyond myself? I think, me and you, we haven't always had it great, right? So if we had to go and live like we did back in the day, if it was just about us, we could survive and get by just fine. But the success is bigger than us, man. The success is, if we don't win, then there are other people who lose. Our wives lose, our children loses, their future loses, right? They don't get everything that they're supposed to get because we didn't do what we were supposed to do now. And I focus on that every day. Every day I look at my little girls. Every day I look at their futures. Every day I look at them in 5 and 10 years. And that's what pushes me to work hard now, to stay up and grind now, right? To be up at 11 o'clock at night on a show now, right? Because I know I know that I'm invested in their future. It's bigger than me. So I can't afford to drag old news and old luggage into a new year, man. And so I pray that other people can see that, right? And see that for themselves and know that, by this time, we're okay. If everything stopped, the person, us human, is okay. But it's got to be for something bigger than you. And that's what to keep you going.
Amen, dude. And
Yeah.
one of the other things, I again, with you, I know this about you. We talked about this thing that you're building and creating, and
Sure.
and you said I'll stay up for 48 hours if I have to. I'll get it done. And you saw, I don't, were you in the Grow Live Academy the night that Ramey was in there? Yeah, you were.
I was
Weren't
one
you?
of those nights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
And
either in the Grow Live Academy or on the Amazon platform, but I was on there one of those times. Yes.
Yeah. And you got his book, and
Absolutely.
you immediately started reading it. You took action, and people, like Ramey said on this Amazon Live tonight, he said, look, I said, well, what are some final words of wisdom you would leave with the audience? What would you, he said, look, whether it's my book or Think and Grow Rich or whatever the book is, somebody else's book, it doesn't matter. Start feeding your mind. Start really feeding your mind with the good stuff, because life is tough, man. And the more that we put that good stuff in our brain, the more that we're creating exactly what we really desire. We're feeding our mind with the positive stuff so we can have a positive outcome, a positive result in life. And it takes action.
You're absolutely right. But I believe life is what we perceive it is, right? I believe that our reality is whatever we perceive it is. I remember, I used to have the "oh, woe is me" attitude and mentality, right? The why me mentality, man, that I think slowed my progress a lot, right? I used to wonder, why was I so poor at a certain point in my life, and why did I struggle so much? But then I went to a third world country and I saw what struggle really was. And I saw that to them, my struggle here in this country was rich. Right. And so my perception changed. And and I said, I'll never, ever, ever complain again. I'll never, for the opportunity that I have here that I know other people didn't have. Right. When they struggled during COVID, we had the opportunity for bailouts, for PPP. We had the opportunity. We knew that jobs would be opening up. Things would eventually open up, man. In other countries where it shut down, they didn't have an outlet. Some of them were selling fruit on the side of the roads in order to try to make ends meet. And I said, man, thank God I am here in the land of opportunity, where I used to think that I was poor. I used to think that things were hard. But you know what? What was poor and what was hard? It wasn't my reality. It was my thinking. It was my thought process. And when I changed that around, man, and realized that I have all the opportunity in the world, all I got to do is take action. The whole world is right there in front of me. The whole land of opportunity is right there in front of me. All I have to do is take action in order to make whatever I want my reality.
Yeah. I think that there's Frank Cranitti. What's up, bro? Living a mindset of abundance.
Absolutely.
It's true, man.
Absolutely.
You got to live. It's a mindset. And I've seen that with Frank. I spent 8 days in that dealership over there with Frank, and watching the other salespeople hold the door for Frank's customers. That's terrible. I'm not laughing at.
Frank is one of two in the whole world, man. He's one of two people in the whole world that rocks at his level. I mean, he's in a very, 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 very unique space.
He is
very unique, man. To call yourself to not call yourself, because he's a humble guy, but for everybody to recognize him as the best in the world at something, in my industry that I love, that I've been a part of for 23 years, what he accomplishes, Ken, let me tell you something, because I've done the position that he does. To accomplish at the level that he does is incomprehensible to me. I can't comprehend that. For a man to sell the level of, do the level of business that he does and sell the level of cars that he does, 120, 140. This is how incomprehensible it is, Ken. At the dealerships that I sold cars at when I was on the floor selling cars, the people on the high end were 25 and 30 car month salespeople. I myself did 15 to 17 cars a month. That's a slow weekend, Frank. You know what I mean? And so it's
Right.
to do it at his level, what he does at his level, it's so incomprehensible because I know what he does. I know the position that he does. It's just unreal, man. So he's one of two in the whole world, man.
Here's another buddy of mine, Josh Anderson, that is I mean, there's levels, right? So Frankie's making he's making bank. Josh has a ginormous company here. Me and Josh and Frank, we all hung out together at the 10X Growth Conference in Miami. You met Josh.
Did I? Because I was there with you and Frank.
Yeah. He owns a lawn fertilization company here in Columbus, and I don't know what he's hitting now, $7 to $10 million a year. I mean, you know, there's levels, right?
Yeah,
there's levels, and I've been in his environment, around his people, with him, and dude, it's impressive. It is a different mindset. It's a different mindset. You 100%. You will not catch Josh Anderson, Frank Graniti, Shaka Dyson, me. You won't catch people, and I'm not all the way up there yet, but you're not going to catch me have a victim mindset. It ain't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You will not catch Frank or Josh having a victim. You won't see it. They're not going to ever be a victim, ever. Won't happen. That doesn't mean that bad crap doesn't happen.
It's just here.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. So, you know, I mean, we're 11 days. 11 days are gone in this year already, man. It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. So we still have, what is that, 29 days left in the month? Is that right? In January? You got to wake up tomorrow morning. And if you don't feel like, okay, I'm hitting the stride to make 2022 the best year ever, then you got to wake up and do something different than you've ever done. You got to start taking different actions.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. 100%, man. 100%. You know, old thought don't get you new results. Old actions don't get you new results. Right? Every dream is obtainable. It's just like Frank just said, the space up here is available, right? It's like an old dealer used to tell me, why rock at a level 7 when 10 is available? Why wait, right? Why wait when now is available, right? Yeah. Put in the work. Your future self is waiting, right? But again, you got to make it about something bigger than you. The reason why people rest on their laurels is because they're comfortable. But they don't understand that their children's futures are riding on the action that they take now. Their very future is riding on the action that they take now. Their February is coming, their March is coming, their May, June, July, the whole year. It's all coming. What are you doing right now? What action are you taking? What work are you putting in? What hustle, what grind, what push are you making happen in order to make sure and guarantee your success in the future? And not leaving it up to somebody else, right? I heard a phrase that said, great players want the ball when it matters most. Well, right now, it matters most. Right now, it does. The sense of urgency is now. No one will live forever. And the last 2 years have told us that you can be taken out anytime. Make it about something bigger than you. Your future is counting on you, not waiting on you. It's counting on you. Design your life. You know, I've been doing a lot of reading on Brendon Burchard, The man is sharp. The man is an intelligent human being. He's extremely sharp, an extremely witty guy. And he talks about designing your life, putting in the work to design your life, your future life. That's what this thing is about. Everybody's making New Year's resolutions. We're 11 days in right now, and I guarantee you half the people have already fallen off. Why? Because successful people don't make New Year's resolutions. Successful people continue to build a life. It doesn't matter what year it is or what time it is, what month it is, we continue to build, right? Average people make resolutions, right? Which they end up breaking.
Yeah.
Debbie, I appreciate you, champion. I appreciate you. But yeah, so you know that's just what it is, man. It's it's placing that sense of urgency on your time. If you don't value your time, no one else is, number one. And number two, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you don't value your time, if the most important and precious thing that you have, what else do you really value?
That's right. That's
right. If you don't value that, right? If the sense of urgency isn't about that and taking care of that and fulfilling that, if that's not your priority, again, how you do one thing is how you do every single thing in your life. So if you don't value that, then listen, everything else will suffer.
Amen, dude. Amen. I agree. I think that you know, I look at people that, you know, you and I have talked a lot about Grant Cardone, and Grant's amazing. He's motivating. He's accomplished unbelievable things.
100%.
And you know, back I don't how long ago was that Growth Con in Miami? 3 years ago? Was that 3 years?
I think it was like 19, I think.
Yeah, I think
so
it was
3 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
And he ran a promo that during the Growth Con for his Cardone University. And dude, I will not miss that. I mean, every month bam, it hits bam every month, bam every month, because it was like it's ridiculous. And I don't even log in that often to train, and I should more, but I don't. I don't log in that often. But I continue to make that investment every month. It's something I'm going to keep doing because it's there, and I know it's there, and I know when I need, man, your signal's fading bad, bro. It's back to fading. It's been kind of blurry since I don't know what it is. But anyway, you know, okay. Uh-oh, he just switched networks. You'll have to refresh. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to text him. Refresh. Oh, there. Refresh the page now, real quick. Come back in. All right. Shaka will be back. He will be back. So, yeah, man, I think that look at what is going on. Here he is. Bam. Oh, look at that. Dude, you're clear now. Whatever you did.
I got two Wi-Fi systems. So I just switched to the other one.
Yeah, whatever you did is working. So yeah, man, I think about people that are not, I just know they're not taking, I know that there's people that are not taking the actions that they need to take. And the other thing is being consistent. So, you know, I one night I was doing a live stream. I had my green screen up, and you know, Grant Cardone was in the comments, and he said, "Ken, you've gotten really good at this." And then it was just a couple weeks later when I had him on a live stream after he finished Undercover Billionaire. And you know, I think about that stuff, and I think about the thousands and thousands of times that I've done live streams where nobody was watching, nobody, and I just kept going because I knew somebody'd watch it on the replay. Like, being consistent and continuing to show up. How important is that, do you think?
I think it's real important. It's No, I did not box, but I love boxing. I love it with a passion. So it's my
Yeah.
favorite sport on the earth, on earth. But in being consistent, man, you know, it's like Brandon said on the video I was just watching the other day. If you're not consistent, then you're constantly randomly dropping new stuff. Like you're constantly showing up as the new guy. Like whenever you decide to pop in, do a live or do whatever, show up at the time that you show up randomly when you do, then you're always showing up as the new person. But you want to
Yep.
being consistent, man. People come to know who you are, what you do, and know what to expect of you, right? So you start to build a brand that way. You can't build a brand any other way.
This dude is so true.
Yeah.
I had Ramey tonight. Um, I'm not, and well, I'm just going to say it. He said after the Amazon live, he said, I've been on a lot of these live streams. He said, and there's nobody better than you. Nobody.
Mm, mm.
I was like, what? He goes, you're so good. And you ask the right questions. And I'm like, wow. Like it was really a compliment, man. I was like,
You're very good, man.
but you know, that I didn't like just start out good at
Mm-hmm.
this, you know, it
Mm-hmm.
takes you got to keep showing up, man. You got to do the push-ups when your arms are sore. You got to
Success
keep
doesn't happen
showing
by
up.
accident, man. It happens on purpose.
It does. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, let me put you on the spot. When do I get a Shaka Dyson hat?
When you want one.
Tomorrow. Can you overnight it?
I could probably have that done. I mean,
I'm just kidding. Don't overnight it, dude. I'm just playing.
dude, those things are easy. No,
I know. I'm just playing.
don't
I
set the
love
bar
that
so
hat.
low.
I love it. Huh?
I'll send you one, man. I'll send you one, man. You wear them on these shows, wear them on the lives. I mean, you
I'll
know,
wear it. I ain't gonna wear it every time, but I'll wear it.
hey,
I'll
set
definitely
it
wear
right
it.
back there next to that breaking
That's
through
right.
walls masterpiece back there.
Yeah, dude. So, you know, I just want to come on tonight and find out how everybody's doing. You know, I really want to see. I mean, especially the people that follow me, like, you know, I absolutely appreciate everybody that follows me, that shows up when I'm live, that shows up in my life. I love you and appreciate the heck out of you. You know that you're my brother. But
Likewise.
you know, I think that I hate to see people suffer, man. I hate to see people play less than what they're capable of. And that's 90% of the world, man. They're playing less than what they're capable, maybe more, way less than what they're capable of. You know, I said to Ramey tonight, I said, after when we were talking after the live stream, I said, you know, I've accomplished some great things. I can relate to a lot of stuff in your story. Uh, and the losses, and then the, you know, starting over and regaining, and I said, I said, you know, I haven't reached billionaire status yet. And he goes, you can. And I said, yeah, I know. I know. I believe that. And then I thought to myself, hold up. Do you really believe that you can be a billionaire? Because it ain't never going to happen if you don't believe it. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I would ask you, man, what do you think? What do you think the difference is between those who are successful in their own right, whether it be a billionaire, whether it be a Frank Graniti, a Grant Cardone, a yourself, a myself, and those 90% that you talk about struggle? What do you think the glaring difference is? If you had to
One
just pick.
1000%, I believe that it's the stories that they're telling themselves about themselves.
Let me ask you this: if I asked you if Ramey, a billionaire, multiple self-made billionaire, multiple times, if I asked you if you thought he knew what his purpose was, what do you think he'd tell you?
No.
You don't think Ramey knows what his purpose is? I
Oh,
think.
yeah, I think so.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this: if
He
I
might be watching. Ramey, do you know what your purpose is?
if I asked you, do you think Grant Cardone knows what his purpose here in on Earth is?
1000%.
if I asked you, does Frank Granini, do you think Frank Granini knows what his purpose is? What do you think
Yes.
he'd say?
Yes.
If I asked you what's your purpose, you could tell me what your purpose was. I know for
Yep.
sure what mine is.
Yep.
What
Yep.
I think is back before, because I was one of the 90%. I swear to you, I was. I was on the bottom half of that 90% too. And I would tell you, it's like a wilderness. I was purposeless. I didn't know what my purpose. I'm crystal clear right now. Crystal. Like I can see my purpose as if I'm looking through a window, right?
Yep.
But before, man, I didn't. And I think that it's your purpose that drives you. I am 100% crystal clear that I know for a fact that I have to grind to secure the future for my wife, for my children, and for my youngest daughter. I know for sure that I'm trying to set them up for life. I know for sure that after I am dead and gone, I do not want their lifestyle to change. I want their futures to be secured. I want them to have more opportunity in their future after I'm gone. I don't want their revenue streams to stop. I don't want anything in their life to stop or come up short because I pass. So my purpose here is to secure their future. My purpose here is to help other people. My purpose here is to motivate and inspire the underdog. I know for sure what gets me fired up and what gets me motivated, and it's those that struggle. And my purpose is to show them that there's a way. My purpose is to show them that after every dark night comes a brighter day. That's my purpose. Why? Because I've done it. And I don't care what you suffer from, you can beat it. You can outlast it if you keep on pushing. There's nothing that I haven't gone through that I haven't conquered and come out on the other side, including a sickness and an illness that I had that you're aware of that brought me to the brink of death about 1.5 years ago. I conquered and I beat it, and I'm here. Right? So I know for sure that that's my purpose. So everything else, there's no distraction that can distract me, right? Because I am the moment I wake up in the morning, I'm laser focused on my purpose. The entire day, I'm laser focused on my purpose. I'm laser focused on my purpose right now. When I go to sleep, I'm going to dream about my purpose. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to get up and grind for it some more. And there's no way humanly possible that I will ever be distracted from it. So that's why I keep pushing and grinding. But before, when I was paycheck to paycheck, when I couldn't pay my rent, when I was driving a hoopty, when my lights were being cut off, when my phone was being cut off, when I didn't have food to eat every day, I wasn't living in my purpose. I wasn't.
What's a hoopty? What's a hoopty?
You are in a privileged and blessed position to be able to ask that question.
Stop.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's a hoopty? You don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
Yeah. But what I'm telling you is the God's honest truth. It really is. And it's so freeing to know it. It's so freeing for there to be no guesswork. It's so freeing to say, hey, I know exactly my purpose is not everyone else's, and no one else's is mine. Their futures are my responsibility. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than me.
This is a great question. What are your thoughts, both of you, on your purpose changing during different seasons of your life?
Sure. I can't speak for anyone. That's what I also learned is I can't speak on anyone else's life. If purpose changes for somebody's life or their human, hey man, who knows what God's plan is for you? Who knows, right? So I've learned to not speak on it. What I've learned to do is just hold on to my truth, and that's it. So if the purpose changes, with seasons or as you grow or as you learn and as you know, I'm sure it's possible.
I would say, this is my personal opinion on it. I would say that your actual purpose in life, I think your purpose itself probably isn't going to change much if the ultimate, whatever the ultimate purpose is, the outcome, look, what's up, Leanna? That's Robbie Cornelius's wife right there. You
What's
know
going
Robbie.
on, champion?
Yeah.
Robbie. Yeah, absolutely. I know Robbie. That dude is a champ, man.
Dude, they live right over in Marietta. They're right down the street from you, man.
I got to connect with him, man.
Yeah. So, I think that, your ultimate purpose itself is probably going to be similar, but you may change vehicles getting there. It may be a different vehicle you're using. There was a time when I just built websites and did SEO stuff and all of that, right? And then inevitably I would end up in conversations with clients where I'm coaching them in some capacity on how to improve their life or their business. And what eventually that evolved into was I'm coaching. Like I coach now, right? And I get paid to coach. So I like it. My purpose was always the same. I just have had different vehicles getting there. And the purpose is to motivate and inspire and help people get to the next level in life. There's a book called The Success Principles written by Jack Canfield. And the Success Principles in there, he talks about finding your life purpose. It's chapter 2, I think. Finding your life purpose and how to find it. And it's simple. It's literally a little 1-page exercise in this book where you answer a few questions that he goes through, and it's mind-blowing what I wrote down in that book over 20 years ago when I read it, how on purpose I am still to this day. And I'll read it to you. You want to hear it?
I mean, you can.
I don't care. I ain't scared.
Well, to that point, I think,
it's exactly what I just said. I mean, it's almost exactly that. So yeah, I won't go through the whole thing, but it's almost exactly that. So your purpose, I think, doesn't change. You knew a long time ago that you wanted to inspire, motivate, get people. You wanted to fight for the underdog. You were doing that back in the day, even when you drove a hoopty.
Yeah. So, as the lady was talking about your stages or your seasons, man, it's about growth. As you grow, you grow wiser. I was talking to my mother about the older you get, it's not the age, it's the wisdom that comes along with it, and it's the growth, right? You go through it, you grow through experience, and I think adversity is God's educational system, right? Experience is the best teacher. And as you grow through the adversities, I think that the window opens up and it shines the light on what your purposes are. Right. And when you realize what that purpose is, it's so freeing. Right. So everyone realizes what their purposes is at different stages, like whatever that stage is, man. But once you do, it's such a freeing feeling because now you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing at all times. There is no questions.
Amen. I agree, dude. You're right. 1,000%. 1,000%. And Brandy, I know, and I love Brandy. She's amazing. She's an attorney. She's been on my show. She's an attorney, and she's going through that kind of like vehicle change, if you will. But her purpose is amazing. So, I think that it's just sometimes you're jumping out of the hoopty into the Benz, or like you're just switching vehicles and you're heading for the same purpose. I believe that's
sometimes you realize you got to jump. Sometimes you realize, man, that it takes that it just takes that courage and to jump and to go, right, to go up in that plane, strap on that parachute and jump, man, and just have the faith that you have experienced enough, that you know enough that when you pull that string, that chute is going to open and you'll be able to guide yourself wherever you need to. But you got to stop being afraid to jump. You got to stop being afraid to put yourself out there. I think that there's a lot of truth to what you said about always knowing what your purpose is. Some of us hold ourselves back because we don't have the courage, the certainty to go after and attack it, but it's always right here. Right there in the back of your mind, you know what you're supposed to be doing. You know the action you should be taking, right? But sometimes, man, it's about having that courage to finally go and jump and free yourself from the bondage that you've been living in, from the mental struggles, from the victimhood, right? And being influenced by every toxic thing around you. Jump so you can free yourself. Jump so you can jump into your purpose. Jump so you can design that life that you want. Jump and realize that no one can dictate your life but you. No one. This is the freest country on earth with the most opportunity and the most wealth. Can nothing stop you but you in this country, right? It is life is amazing, man. It really, really is. But you got to go to that ledge and you got to jump. Right? You have to stop holding yourself back. When I realized, man, that it was me, this is another freeing thing, so freeing, that everything that I do, good or bad, everything that happens in my life, every circumstance, a situation I find myself in, I am 100% accountable. I look at myself 100. I never ever blame no one, point a finger at anyone. I talk to me. And how can I improve me? And what can I do better? And what do I need to do different next time in order to make this situation better? Right? So it's about taking full responsibility, man, and jumping towards your purpose. Stop worrying about being safe over here. Right? The safest place a person can possibly be is in prison where it's secure. Right? That's the safest place. But if you want to be free, then guess what? There's no safety. No safety net out there, right? Just go free yourself and live in your freedom, live in your purpose, be happy and know what you're getting up in the morning for. It's so wonderful, man, to have a free mind. It's so wonderful to have a purpose that you're passionate about. It's so wonderful knowing that whether I fail or whether I succeed, at least I know I gave everything that I had for it, right? So that's what I would tell people, man. Is get out there and jump. Don't worry about it. Millions of people have done it in front of you, and guess what? Millions of people are going to do it after you gone, right? It's your turn now.
Yep. We were talking about Ramey, and Ramey at 23 years old had a $50 million net worth, and he sat and had friends over and was watching, and this is all in the book, but he was watching the Robin Leach show, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and they showed a promo on the wealthiest man in the world, and Ramey afterwards said, I'm going to go work with him, not for him. I'm going to go work with that guy, and I'm going to sell everything I have to do it, and I'm going to get on his radar. The guy was worth $10 billion at the time or something back in the 80s, and which was the wealthiest in the world. And he said his friends all looked at him like, yeah, right, whatever. He said, I had like a fire sale. I got rid of it. He said, I had like $9 million left after because he said, I was selling stuff for here. You want it? Take it. Give me 10 cents. I don't care. Like he was just, and he spent the next 4 years. It took him 4 years. And he was showing up in Paris at the guy's hotel. You read the story. You heard it. He's showing up. I was
talking about that earlier.
Yeah, I know. All over the world. He spent his last $9 million to get on this guy's radar. He was paying people $10,000, $20,000 every month just to tell him where this guy was going to be so he could be there. Like he went all in. And he said tonight on the freaking Amazon, dude, he goes, I was sitting there, I had $50 million, and most people would be like, wow, I'm good. He's like, but I'm sitting there watching, and I'm like, I've sold out. I'm comfortable. This isn't good. I sold out. At $50 million, he sold out, and he got rid of everything, man, and went, because he's like, you know what? Billionaire sounds way better than millionaire. And I'm going to go learn how to think like a billionaire from the richest guy in the world.
Yeah.
And that's you were just talking about like that dude. He said, I thought, well, okay, so I've lived on the streets. I know how to do that. You said that to me yesterday. Remember that? Well, you didn't say you've lived on the streets. You said, I've been on the other side. I know how to do that. I know how to do that.
Yeah,
and
100%.
He said that. Yeah, he said that. He said, I'm going all in on this billionaire thing. I want to learn how to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
He said,
So
go ahead.
Man, one of my you bring up one of my favorite clips from a movie. Have you ever seen social media about Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
So when Sean Parker and they're in that restaurant and he's talking to him and he said, he said $1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool? And then he said $1 billion. And that clip, when I saw that movie clip, man, you ought to find it and play it. But it jumped off the screen. He said that all the music was playing in the background. He said, $1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool? The guy said, what? He said $1 billion. Boom. And then everything was silent. And it was like, yo, that's an exclusive club, man. Again, all starts here. All starts here.
Right there. And it ends there too. It ends there too.
It's lonely at the top and crowded at the bottom, man. I used to be down there. I used to be at the bottom. It was crowded. Yeah. I'm claustrophobic though, so I had to put the work in.
There's a lot of people to hang out with down there, man.
That's right.
I think that if you're not getting what you want out of life, man, like, I mean, everything, not just some of it, everything. Stop being comfortable. Stop being comfortable. Like, Shaka, you know this. You could lose everything tomorrow, everything, and you and your family are you got to figure out something else, and you will. So, you're like me, dude. You're like, I'll go all in. I don't care. I'll go all in. Like, we're going all in. Let's get this done. Let's get it going. And that's where I think people fail. They get into a job, they get into a career, they might make 100, 200, 300,000, whatever it is. And they stay there. They stay stuck there. I remember when Grant Cardone said he was at some dinner party and some drunk dude was over at the next table bragging about how he makes $400,000 a year. And he's like all cocky and drunk and just being this jerk. And he said, I'd had enough. I get up and I walk over and I said, how much you make? He said, 400 G's a year. He said, how do you even go home and kiss your wife at night? How do you even go home and kiss your wife at night? Like, how do you only get by on $400,000? Like, it is a freaking mind shift. And people are like, look, that's cocky and arrogant. That's cocky.
No, it ain't. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth, man. And listen, when people hear Grant say that, because it took me a minute too, so I get it.
Yeah.
But when people hear Grant on stage and they say, he asks the audience member, how much do you make a year? And the audience member may say, I make $5 million a year. And Grant will say, how in the world do you live on $5 million a year? The guy may say, or the gal may say, hey, I make $10 million a year. How do you live on $10 million a year? How do you? And I used to be like, what you mean how you live on $5 million a year? I could, what I could buy right now? You know what I could pay for with $5 million a year? But that's exactly what he's saying. What he's saying, to clarify for the audience, what he's saying is that how can you justify living a lifestyle that $5 million pays for when a lifestyle that $500 million can pay for is out there? That's what he's saying. How in the world can you live on $400,000 a year? How can you live on this? Grant has designed a life where there's no way he could live on $5-10 million a year. It couldn't even be a down payment on his jet. right? So
Nope.
it's Raimi, same way, right? So there's so many people out there. So I understand that concept. Whereas it took me, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna be very truthful. It took me years to figure that one out. And just out of the blue, randomly, it dawned on me one day. It dawned, and I was like, wait a minute. Because I'm always thinking about the stuff that he says, and I said, wait a minute. Hold on. Bing, bing. I was like, wow, that's what he meant.
Wow.
It was so great and so eye-opening, man. But that's exactly what he means, man. So I'm with him.
You got it. Like, before you get to a different level, you got to get your thinking to a different level, man. It's just, you can't get there without getting there in your head first.
It's amazing. You know, like for instance, the Frank Graniti, right? The man sells, he's the best in the world, one of two, right?
Yep.
And he sells such an astronomical number of cars a month, over 100 cars a month, that there's no way he could fathom himself only getting by on selling 30. Right? He couldn't imagine that type of lifestyle or 40. I remember for years in my career, me wanting to hit that 6-figure mark, that 100,000. I got to get that 100,000. And I used to believe that I would be rich at 100,000. And the reason being is because not that I would be rich at 100,000. It was because I was living poor at that moment. Meaning my mentality was poor. So I approached things poor. I acted poor and hung around other poor people. Right, who we recognize, right? So I felt at that time I would be rich at 100,000 because my rent was only $300 a month. I drove a car that was broken down, paid for, that I had no insurance on. I lived paycheck to paycheck at the moment, and my idea of going out to dinner on the weekend was going to the gyro spot that you walk to down the block, right? So was my lifestyle back then.
Yeah.
Now I would question a Shaka Dyson that would ever believe he could live on 100 grand, right? I have accounts, right? Single accounts that pay me over that. And I have multiple, I have a lot of them. Won't get into it, but what I'm saying is as you grow here, your lifestyle also grows. Your realities also grow. Right. But I'm going to just put it to you like this. The aspirations I had to get to 100 grand, there's no way I could park there and live there now.
So Charles says, so glad it dawned on Shaka. That's awesome. The thing, the Grant thing. Dude,
it dawned. It was out of the blue. Man, it's the truth. As Ken knows, I'm a person that processes things. This is my thought process. I never ever take what people say at face value. I take it and I just process. And man, I think about the stuff that Grant teaches a lot. I think about, his books. I have them all here, as you can see right back here. I'm a reader and I process information. And I've heard him say that several times. I don't know how you could live on $5 million a year. I don't know how you can live on $20 million a year. I don't know how and I thought, I do. I know exactly how I would live on. And then it was just amazing when it dawned on me finally what it meant. And, it was a breakthrough, man. And it was a breakthrough that I needed.
2022, the best year ever. Man, it is time for so many people. Doug Wing, my brother. There is my brother, Doug. Shaka, what book changed your life and why? Oh, hold on. He's got it right there.
It's called Success is a Choice.
Hold on.
So it's one of two. The one that changed my life initially was Success is a Choice. This is actually an autographed copy, okay, from Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
But the reason why this one changed my life, it wasn't this specific one. Somebody got fired from my dealership, and I went and ransacked this desk back in '99, about 23 years ago. And I found a paperback version of that. And when I found that paperback version, I couldn't put it down. It wasn't even my book. It was the guy's who got fired, but he was gone. So I took the book. I started reading. I didn't have any furniture in my apartment, so I was laying across my floor. Never forget it, on my carpet, and I just would read, and I would read, and I would just page turn, and it awakened the beast. I mean, it just shed so much light on success really is your choice. It's about your choices. It really is your choice. It really is predicated on your thoughts and your actions and what you're focused on. Success really is a choice. And so that's the book that changed my life when I read it. That's the one. Success is a Choice by Rick Pitino. I'll never ever forget it. And I was lucky enough that one of my employees came this year for my birthday, went and found this book, sent it to Rick Pitino, and had him autograph it for me. So this book is very special to me. But that book changed my life. And then in business, you know, obviously the 10X rule, which is right there. The 10X rule is Grant Cardone's book.
Oh, it's so good.
That book right there is was another game changer for me.
Yeah. That's an awesome story. That is an awesome story, man. I remember you sharing that with me, that your dude went and had that autographed.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing, man. I'm telling you. And it's
I'm not going to call him my employee, my partner, my guy who I work with. Yeah, sounds better.
Yeah. What's that?
I said I'm not going to call him my employee. I'm going to call him my partner, my guy that I work with.
Yeah.
Right? Sounds better.
Yeah. So, you know, I think, and Shaka, so you talk about living in that little place, no couch, laying on a floor. You know, you talk about driving a, what'd you call it? A hoopty? A hoopty.
Call it an old beat up car, man.
I know. I love that though, man. I love the word hoopty. I'm going to use that from here on out.
I'm shocked you've never heard it.
I probably have. But the, you know, you're living in this, is that, and be honest, like, were you a product of the environment you were brought up in?
No.
Is that how you were brought up, in a lower income, high income?
No, I tell you what I was brought up in. I wasn't, it wasn't the income. What I learned in living and growing up is that your parents' money isn't yours. That's the first thing, right? I had two parents who were professionals. My dad was an engineer and my mother was a teacher. So I didn't live in a run down type of neighborhood, a hood.
Right.
I didn't live in that environment. I lived in a middle class neighborhood. But what I knew is that my parents' money wasn't mine. So within my home, there's a lot that I did not have within my home. And I don't want to get into what happened under my roof, but it just, it broke me. I was a broken person when I left my parents' home. As a matter of fact, I didn't even graduate high school, man. I ran away from home when I was 17 years old and went to New York to get away from my home, right? And it wasn't because my parents were evil. It was just that they did what was necessary in order to make sure that I didn't make life altering or ending choices back then. Meaning they were all about discipline, man, to the 1000th degree. And as I grow older, when you grow wiser, you understand how much you needed it, right? I didn't know it back then, and that's why I was broken, because I didn't understand the brutality that I felt it was back then, which I know now was needed. And it takes a lot of effort from parents to put that kind of work in to make sure that your child doesn't go out there and mess the rest of their life up. Listen, my older brother, you know who my older brother is, but my older brother is he just spent 17 years in prison and just got out, just to put it out there, that type of lifestyle. He's still in that type of lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
My parents did whatever it took for me not to follow that path, but I was a very broken human being. So I ran away from home at 17 years old. I dropped out of high school. I had a child when I was 18 years old. I never went back home and lived under that roof again. I started living very poor as an adult myself at 18 years old. I went out there on my own. I got a job. I lived paycheck to paycheck, and I just got it from the trenches, man, just inch by inch. I built this. But did I live like that growing up? No, my parents did a great job, man, and they definitely were two professionals. I mean, they went to college, right? So
yeah.
they were two professional people, man, and God bless my dad's soul, but they did everything that they knew to do, right? And so I'm very grateful now, whereas I was ungrateful then for what they did for me.
But you had so when I said, did you grow up in that? Were you a product of an environment? And you answered that. No, you were. I mean, yes and no, I guess is the answer. Yes and no. But you made a conscious choice at some point, whether it was reading that book, you read another book, you read a bunch of books, and at one point all of it came together and you said, wait a minute, I need to take personal responsibility for my life. I need to take personal responsibility for my outcomes. I need to take massive action in my life. I need to quit waiting on. I think a lot of people think success is just going to show up and knock on their door one day and they're going to be golden. I really do. And it's not a judgment. I've been in that mindset. Like, I'm going to get mine one day. I am. I mean, I've been there. I'm going to get it. I know I'm going to get it. I'm just going to, watch some Netflix and chill. It'll be here. but that ain't the way it goes. I won't disclose what you're working on, but we've been on these meetings yesterday, 3.5 hours, today, an hour. And I'm seeing all this coming together, man. And it's looking, I mean, it's pretty dope. And I'm like, and remember you were saying, well, look at this compared to what this is now. And, and it's like, but see, that's growth. That's all growth, right?
100%.
That's all growth. And you're not sitting around waiting on growth to happen. You're making growth happen. And people stay stuck in that mindset of, I'm too old. And I brought that up with Ramey. I'm too old. I've made too many mistakes. I've made every damn mistake in the book.
Choice.
It's a choice. It's
about choices, man. It's about choices.
It is, man.
When I was living in the impoverished circumstance and situation that I was in, it was because of my choices that put me there, right? It was, but what I know is that if my choices could put me there, my choices can also put me here, and my choices can also create and design the life that I want. It is, I swear, it's all about the choices, man.
It
what
is.
You focus on is what you will get. Period. What you focus on is what you will get out of this thing, man.
Do you know Billy Merritt?
I do. I was actually on a show.
Okay. So Billy, when Billy was and
he's going to come pick me up in his plane, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Billy's a good dude, man. He's a client of mine too, and good friend of mine. And when he was on my show, I said, dude, where did because he talked about, I couldn't even, I'm going to try to be Billy. I couldn't even pay my electric bill, Ken. I was like, and he's like, it was bad, really bad. And he said, and then I heard this guy come across the radio named Bob Proctor. And he said, the problem you have is the conversation you're having with yourself. And what you need to do is you need to say this statement over and over and over and over thousands of times. And that is, I am so happy and grateful now that money flows to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. I am so happy and grateful now that money flows to me on in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis, over and over and over and over. And he said, man, I couldn't even pay the electric bill, but I was driving out to see this car dealer. He's in the car business. You know that. Sure. And he said, it was about a 4-hour drive. He said, and I'd driving this old pickup truck to go see this dealer to sell him this product. He said, I I'm and all the way over there. He said people were passing by me, looking over at me like I was a crazy man. He goes, because I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm so happy and grateful now that money and just scream. And he went from, in a 4-year period, he went from and that's his mantra. I have it on a plaque right down here that somebody sent to me. Right, you can see it right there. That's the plaque. So saying I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. He said, by the time I got to that dealer, I had said it so many times out loud, screaming at the top of my lungs, driving down the road. I felt the emotion of it. I felt it. I was on fire, man. He said, my voice was hoarse. I could barely even talk by the time I got there. Billy Merritt turned his company into a $20 million a year company, starting right there by working on that right there first. And when we focus on that, that's when things really do start to shift.
Mm-hmm. Amen, man. Absolutely.
Anyway, brother, hey, thank you for jumping on here with me, man. We've been on here for a minute.
100%, man. It was, the pleasure was all mine, man. When I saw you jump on, I said, talk about the most consistent person on live. Talk about the most consistent human being on live, man. I said, let me go in there and join my guy, man. So it's good to see you.
You too,
and
bro.
I'll chat with you. Probably I'll chat with you tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. All right, bro.
See you, champion.
See you later, man. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate all of y'all, and anybody, like I said, interested in joining the Grow Live Academy. It's available right now for $147. Setup $77 a month, and you have access to everything, including our weekly meetings. I think Ramey is actually going to join us this Thursday. He said he thinks he can, but we'll see. If not this Thursday, he'll definitely be there next Thursday. Ramey's going to come in and talk to the Grow Live Academy again. And hey, man, having a chance to hang out with a billionaire and ask him questions, it's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty dang cool. So anyway, you guys have, if you want the link to sign up for that, shoot me a private message on Facebook Messenger. And I'll shoot it over to you. Yeah, I mean, or you can just pay $9.97 a year. It's up to you. But the either way, let me know. We do have new people that just came in tonight, and a couple of others over the past week. So I'm pretty excited about it. The Grow Live Academy is growing, and we have some spectacular things coming down the pipe for this year. So get in now, man, before I raise the price to something that is going to be crazy. So I appreciate all of you. Shaka Dyson, I love you, my brother. I appreciate you coming on here and hanging out with me. And you guys have a great night. Shoot me a message on Facebook if you want to chat about it. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great night and go out and get it, man. 2022, make it your year. Talk to you later.